On pretty much any construction site, there's a simple skill that can separate the laborers from the leaders. And you know what it is? It all comes down to reading these little things: grade stakes. In the next few minutes, we're going to show you exactly how to do it.
Wow, that quote really gets right to the point, doesn't it? This isn't just about reading numbers on a piece of wood. It's about understanding the entire job site in a completely new way. A way that, trust me, gets you noticed and gets you paid. So if you've ever walked past one of those stakes and felt like it was written in some kind of secret code, well, get ready. We're about to crack it. Right here, right now. Okay, first things first, we have to understand the basic anatomy of what we're looking at, because it's not just one piece of wood. It's actually a two-part system, and each part has a very different job. So you're looking at two key things. The tall stake, that's called the lath. Think of it like a billboard. It's got all the instructions written on it. But the small stake, or maybe a nail right next to it, that's the hub. And the hub is everything. It is the actual reference point, and every single measurement starts from the top of that hub. Let's just burn this into our memory right now, okay? This is the number one mistake that beginners make. If you measure from the wrong spot, you can throw off an entire project. So here's the deal. You read the lath, but you always measure from the hub.
Okay, so we know where to measure from. Now let's learn what we're supposed to be measuring. The lath has its own little language, a simple shorthand that's used on pretty much every site. Let's break down that code. These are the heavy hitters you're going to see every single day. C is for cut, F is for fill. R and L mean right and left offset. EL stands for elevation. And that station number, that just tells you where you are along the project. Once you know these, you can read almost any stakeout out there. All right, let's start with C for cut. Simple. This is your instruction to dig. The number that comes after the C tells you exactly how far down from the top of that hub you need to go to hit your final perfect elevation. So for instance, if you see C1.85, you grab your tape, you measure from the hub, and you know the bottom of that trench or that pad needs to be exactly 1.85 meters below that point. It's a direct command. The number tells you what to do. And now for the exact opposite. F means fill. This tells you the ground is too low. You need to bring in material, dirt, gravel, whatever, and build it up to the designed grade. And just like with a cut, the number is your instruction. If it says F.65, you know you've got to add material until that new surface is precisely 0.65 meters higher than the top of your hub. It's that simple. Now, what about those R and L letters? That's your offset. And it makes perfect sense when you think about it. You can't put the stake exactly where you need to dig, right? Because you just dig it up immediately. So surveyors place it a set distance away, to the right or to the left. Your job is to measure that offset over to find the actual center line. All right, so we've learned the parts, we've learned the language. Now let's put it all together. Let's walk through a repeatable process you can use every single time you go up to a grade stake. Think of this as your field checklist. First thing, every time, find your reference point, the hub. Then, check your location with a station number. Find the true construction point using that offset. Figure out if you're cutting or filling. Then, you mark it, you get the work done, and, this is key, you always verify your work by measuring again from that hub. So, we've covered how to read a stake. But now we have to talk about the single most important rule for working around them. And I really can't stress this enough. Before you even think about what's written on the stake, before you do anything else, there is one thing you have to remember. That's it. That is the golden rule. These stakes are put in the ground with survey-grade precision. They're literally the entire project's control system. If you bump one, if you knock it over or pull it out, you have just put the entire job at risk. Why is it such a big deal? Because if you build something based on a stake that's been moved, everything you build from that point on is wrong. That could mean redigging utilities, regrading roads. We're talking about a mistake that can cost thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars to fix. If a stake looks disturbed, you stop work and you tell your supervisor, period. Okay, so we've gone from the basics all the way to the big rules. Let's bring it all home and talk about what happens when you truly get good at this.
And this is the real key to mastering this whole thing. It is not about being some kind of math genius. It's about experience. It's about seeing so many of these stakes that you stop reading them one by one and you start recognizing the patterns they create.
And that's the leap. You'll be able to glance at a whole line of stakes and you won't just see cut 1.5, cut 1.6, cut 1.7. No, you'll actually see the ditch getting deeper. You'll see the flow of water. You'll see the entire project in your mind's eye before a single bucket of dirt is moved. That is the skill that makes you invaluable. So there you have it. We've decoded the language, we've laid out the process. You now have the foundation of a skill that controls every single road, every pipe, every building. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?